Believe it or not, I am back with an upload. I am back with actual content for the first time in 3 months. And this time I've actually brought something a little bit different to the table. Welcome to Brickfile Films. Okay, so first off, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. And secondly, like I said, this is actually going to be something a little bit different because when I look back on it, my old content was pretty dry. So, I'm kind of looking for something a little bit new, and I started to kind of think about what I like to do with Lego. And something that I really like to do with Lego is I like to salvage used sets, essentially. Because a lot of used sets that are kind of sitting around there in the world today, whether they be on a Bricklink store, eBay, maybe even at a Goodwill, a Bricks and Minifigs, a secondhand sort of Lego store, they usually sit there incomplete. And whenever I get a set that's incomplete, it's kind of just in my nature to finish the set and salvage what I have to kind of put it back to its former glory, which for me constitutes at the bare minimum all the pieces, all of the minifigures, and the instructions, which I have here, and if I can manage it, the box as well. So in this case, this salvage actually was one that I got quite a while ago, right when I got back into Lego, about 2018. I got this set used with the box, no instructions, and a fair amount of the set at a Bricks and Minifigs store here in Illinois. And I didn't know that it was incomplete at the time because, as I said, I was fairly new to Lego at that time, or reintroducing myself, if you will. And I was very disappointed to find out that it was incomplete when I got home. So I kind of just let it sit there in its incomplete state and wear away, and I definitely lost a few pieces in the process, which is really disappointing. And as of recently, I've gotten back into these vintage Harry Potter sets quite a bit, and so I decided to dig out what I could, which was the Aragog figure, which I had sitting just kind of in a random place, the minifigures, which I had stored away with the rest of my vintage Harry Potter figures, and then I had the base plate and a fair amount of the pieces on the actual base plate itself. So I think I had about 90% of the set when I salvaged it. So then I made a quick Bricklink order so that I could order all the pieces I needed. That ended up being about $10 to $15. And then I went on eBay and managed to find somebody who sold me the instructions for $4. So that makes this complete to me. That's what I consider to be a salvage, and that's something kind of new that I'd like to share. My stories of how I got incomplete sets, how I go out of my way to complete them and put them back to how they should be. And now I have it complete, and it's perfect for me to review. Okay, so since I neglected to mention it in the beginning, this is actually set 4727. Aragog in the Dark Forest is a 2002 Harry Potter set based off of the Chamber of Secrets movie. And this set comes with 2 minifigures, one brick-built animal, so to speak, and then a couple other smaller animals. But I'll just be focusing on the minifigures, and I'll get to the actual build later. So let's start off with Harry. Okay, so starting off with Harry, he's actually exclusive to this set. He has a nice sort of outfit here. He has a dark blue jacket / hoodie and a blue flannel shirt underneath that. Very accurate to what he has on in this scene in the Chamber of Secrets. He comes with the old brown 4-length wand, obviously. Definitely kind of outdated by today's minifigure standards, but very cool and nostalgic. So Harry has the basic Harry Potter hairpiece, head, and even the same legs as the normal Hogwarts Harry with the old light gray. But still a really cool and somewhat exclusive Harry thanks to that torso. And here's Ron Weasley. Pretty similar to Harry, he's also exclusive to this set, yet a lot of these pieces aren't super exclusive. The only thing exclusive here is actually his torso print with that nice sort of sweater design. He again had the old light gray, in this case, 4-length bar for the wand, again outdated, but still very cool. So as basic as he is, it's still a cool and exclusive vintage Harry Potter figure. Now let's move on to the build, starting off with Aragog. Okay, and here's Aragog himself. I honestly didn't appreciate this design too much when I initially had this built, but really the more I take a look at it, I think this is a very solid Aragog. I like the special design. I think you can see it here with the red translucent stud in between brick and the eye socket here, which is actually just a ball joint. It's cool that they have like a sort of detail like that instead of just having an eye extension. The legs look a little odd, I have to say, but honestly, I think they serve their purpose pretty well. And obviously, these front three are all made in the same way. They all kind of go like this. They're shorter. The back ones are where you get the real support, because this sort of back part of Aragog, it can be put up or down. But no matter which way you have it, if you don't have these back legs, if you will, towards the back, he will fall over. He's just not very balanced in that regard. But if you do put him like this with his legs back, he will not fall over. So I really appreciate that, and I really think this is probably one of the less offensive looking Aragogs that has been released by LEGO. I really normally don't like brick built animals of any sort, but because I am a sucker for vintage Harry Potter and nostalgia in terms of LEGO, I really actually do like this one, as outdated as it may seem. I was very interested by the way that the mouth and the eyes are made. I'm really not quite sure what this piece is for Aragog's mouth. I've never really seen it in a set before, but I like it a lot. And then, of course, the ball joints for the eyes were very, very interesting choice. So now let's move on to the actual forest. Okay, so taking a look at the actual forest build now, we get a pretty interesting play feature right off the bat. You can see all of these webs are kind of sprung back. They look like they're ready to fall forward, right? Just getting right into the play feature, basically. Let's just put Ron in here, for example. Stand him right here. And there is a little mechanism back here that actually has some coins with it. And if you pull it back, all of these spider webs fall onto Ron, which I'm quite sure that Ron would hate. Back over this way, like I said, there are some coins back here, which is very nice. There's a small owl in the old dark gray up here. Some grass pieces. There are actually these very cool spider prints that are on the trees over here and also on the ground. There's a 1x1 in sand green with just one spider, and then there are 2x2s in light gray with 4 different colored spiders on them. I'm not sure how exclusive they are, but I really like how those look. So as small of an area as this is, it has a fun play feature, especially for back in the day. And then they also have you build this tree, which I didn't really think much of at first, but it has this very strange sort of thing in it. In the instructions, they tell you to put the tan owl in this, which is really weird. I don't know why they would instruct you to put an owl in a tree, but I think that's cool. It's very much what I would expect from one of these older Harry Potter sets, because I love how these are, but they are a little weird. So yeah, this is a pretty fun play feature. Maybe not as fun as the one I covered in the Dueling Club set, but definitely not bad. So now that we've gone over the set, I'll take a look at the instructions in the box real quick, and then we can get to our recap. Okay, so looking at the instructions, not really a ton to behold here. Obviously, you get the design of the set on the front, open it up, and you have the, the weird old design for the character building process. Some of the characters' faces definitely look a bit warped for some reason. And yeah, just a shorter instruction manual. And then you do get an ad for LEGO creator Harry Potter. Interestingly enough, not advertising LEGO creator Harry Potter in the Chamber of Secrets, which was a game that existed, so I'm kind of surprised that that's not on there. And you get a nice assortment of some of the Chamber of Secrets and some of the Sorcerer's Stone sets on here. For instance, Sorcerer's Stone sets, you do have Snape's classroom and the actual original Hogwarts. But the rest of these, I believe, and Troll in the Dungeon. The rest of these, also Hagrid's Hut. I'll stop myself there, but yeah, most of these are Chamber of Secrets sets, and this is actually pretty similar to the design you see on the poster that comes in the Chamber of Secrets sets, which I sadly don't have with me here. But it's a really interesting thing, because on the poster it shows all of these already assembled on top of each other, but the instructions, if you so desire, give you the instructions on how to put the rest of these sets together. So, you could stack the Dueling Club on top of Snape's classroom, and then part of the Chamber of Secrets on top of the Dueling Club. It's just a really interesting way that it all goes together, and I really appreciate that this exists. It's kind of the thing I would really love to do with a lot of the vintage Harry Potter sets someday. How realistic that dream is, I'm not quite sure, but either way, it's very cool and very nostalgic. Okay, so finally, in regards to the box, something interesting I noticed right off the bat is that the Harry Potter logo they have up there does not have the name of the movie under it, as it did with the Sorcerer's Stone sets. And I suppose that would continue to be a trend for most of the Harry Potter sets, just something that interests me from year 1 to year 2. So, Harry Potter is actually in a different form here as well. He was in a younger form on the Sorcerer's Stone box, crossing his arms, looking pretty cool. But here he's just kind of sitting back in his older Chamber of Secrets self. And I like to go over the brick wall like I did in the Dueling Club video, but I don't want to go over it again too much. It's a very nice design. I like it a lot. Here you get some of the alternate builds. These ones, a bit interesting. Something I hadn't really noticed in the past is that this appears to be some sort of alternate build, maybe for the Whomping Willow. Not really 100% sure if that's what they were going for, but if it is, that's really cool, and a set that I wish that they had made in the old vintage sort of Harry Potter style. And then there's another one up here. Not really 100% sure what's going on there. It just kind of looks like a small like cave entrance almost. And then you get a look at the printed spiders and the coins I referred to earlier, in addition to just another shot of all of the sets that I showed in the instructions. So that'll just about do it for this Salvage review. To go over it just a little bit more, it's a fair old Harry Potter set with 2 exclusive yet kind of basic minifigures. You get some cool designs for the torsos that you don't see in any other set, and you get this nice brick-built Aragog, which in my opinion is actually my favorite of the ones that LEGO has made. I recommend getting it if you're into vintage Harry Potter sets like I am. I personally am more into sealed Harry Potter sets or just sealed vintage sets. But I do think this is a fair one to have displayable. I don't think it's the best displayable set, but it's definitely not bad. And I love having it on my shelf because I love old vintage Harry Potter. And this is just a cool scene from a cool movie that was made into a cool set. That's the best way to put it. So I hope you enjoyed, and if you enjoyed that much, you could leave a like or subscribe. All up to you. But thank you very much for watching, and have a great night.